Okay, so you have been working with your group on the Sweet 16 cinematography scavenger hunt, learning to get those different shot types. When you have those shots, what you do is you go, connect to server, and it should already be there because you should have connected to the server before. You'll put in your credentials, and it will open this. You're turning your stuff into the AV folder, AV Dropbox, group files. You're going to find your group. So whatever group is your group, you're going to make a folder in your groups folder and call it Sweet 16, like the Queens did. The Queens are kind of ahead. Look at all these different shots they got. That is nice. Okay, so you want to name your shots by shot type. And remember, be in a habit of group share. Okay, let me group files, group, Sweet 16, name files by shot type underscore subject, what's in the shot, underscore shooter, who shot the shot. And then you will submit that. So that's there for everybody. Now that you got it there, see, basically they have the shot type. They just need to add what's in the shot, which I can preview the shot by pressing space. So this is student writing on board. That's also an over-the-shoulder shot, it looks like. And then they need to put who shot it. So they'll update this. Then with that, now it's time to go to the video edits, Sweet 16 video edits. This part is where it's individually. You aren't working with a group for this part. What the video must include is on this sheet, but I also have it here in case you don't have this sheet. So all the shots your group gathered need to go in the video. So you're going to pull up Premiere. When you're working on something for Skeetobyte News that everybody needs to access, or with a group that everybody needs to access, you'll put it in a folder on the network drive so that everybody can access it. But this is something that you are editing individually because I want to make sure all of you guys have experience with editing. So for this, don't put your Premiere project in this folder. Instead, go ahead and just put it somewhere that you can access it by yourself. So on the desktop. So I'm going to call this Sweet 16 video underscore my name. Oh gosh, underscore Turner C. Okay, and here's where you say where you want it to go. So past stuff I put on the network drive because that was for SB News, but this stuff I'm going to put just on the desktop, make it easy for me to find. And you could put it in your folder and documents or somewhere that it's easy to get to and it's saved so you can have it. Okay. Now I need to import the files. I'm going to use all those files from the network. So having the network up, it's easy. I can just go ahead. Of course, you'll want to have the files named properly first, but now I'm just going to drag that in. And it's going to import them. I'm hoping that this video will show you all the little parts you may need to know to get these things accomplished in your edits. Okay, so here I see a nice variety of angles. They got us some good footage. They don't have all of it, I believe. They do have initials on some of their shots on the sheet, but they'll just need to finish this out. Okay, so the assignment says it needs to include all the shots your group gathered. So you may want to pick out an order, but you see I had them all selected and dragged them down, so now they're all right here. So one thing I want to show you, if you want to just use the audio or video, you can just drag this. So for this stuff, you probably won't want the audio because you're going to have music as the video. So I'm just going to drag video only down here. And that looks good. You know what? On this one, let's say I don't want the whole video. I just want it from Would have been nice to get the whole door closing before she came around, but let's get it before we see her again. So I'm going to press O to mark an out point there, and we'll go ahead and start the action when the door opens. I to mark the end point there. I accidentally pressed O, I think, too. So I got a narrow in and out point. Of course. Okay. Oops, there I see her. Out point here. Now I can drag this down. Oh, I dragged both. I just want the video. Okay. So now I can go like this. Okay, good. And, oh, here's a low angle. Let's stick that one next to this one. So you can see I'm dragging over. I don't want her looking at the camera. So I'll get it from right there. Oh, she looked at the camera again. We'll go all the way to the end this time. And just the video. Okay, so now we got her going in the building and out of the building, so maybe we want something different in between. Here's a wide shot of the doors. So maybe it would make sense to get the doors before she goes in. But we got another student. Okay. So you're trying to organize it in a way that may make sense and flow for your video. Oh, I was supposed to put an out point there. I put an end point. This is a still shot, but I'm just going to use it. I might get the one where he's stepping in later. Okay, let's move this. Put this. Okay, so hopefully you get the point. You see it, you try to organize it. Then you need to add titles. So I have a video for you guys, 4 different ways to add titles. You know, you could just click the type tool. And luckily you've already labeled this stuff, so you know this is a Dutch tilt. Dutch tilt. And it adds the title right here on this top track. So you can make it longer, you can make it shorter. You can add effects, so transitions. So I'm going to go to Effects, Video Transitions. And there are multiple ways I can transition between shots. I can just drag it over and it will transition like that. With news, you don't want to do transitions, basically. You want to do from one shot to another. Sometimes transitions look juvenile, but sometimes with film, they can add something to it. So you can look through these and figure out which ones you want. If you don't like it, you can zoom in this way, and you can delete it. Zoom out. Okay, so that is titles. I'll show you one more way to do titles. Let's see, essential graphics. Well, let's do there's not time for that in this video. Okay, so what else do we need to do? Add titles of shot name, add music and sound effects. Okay, so music and sound effects, we are going to go to YouTube Audio Library. Because with that one, we already know that they let us use this stuff. So, easy way, you can sort by mood, genre, instrument, duration, attribution, not required. Okay, let's say I want that. I'm going to download. And then I'm going to find it in my downloads folder. And then I'm going to pull into my media browser. And then I'm going to drag here up to the audio track. Now, working on music, you want to make sure your levels are good. Right here, they're probably good. Right here, they may get too loud. Yeah, so they're kind of loud right here. So what I'm going to do is zoom to where I can see my audio track a little bit better. And I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. So it's going up real high. Let's aim for -9. Okay, you can add in and out points. So if I do this, these are keyframes on the audio. So now I can fade into the audio if I'd like. Okay. And what else? We need to add the credits for the music. We're going to have to add rolling credits. So for that, we're going to go to Window, Essential Graphics. We could do angled credits. Okay. Is there enough time to show you guys that? Okay. You know what? I will put that in a separate video for you, just to make sure that there's enough time. For this, let's see if we have thirds. Angled lower third. All this stuff might be good to use for your credits for your titles as well. So if you pull up the Essential Graphics panel, we now have I cannot see anything. Oh, there it is. Here we can change it. Oops, I added a layer, as you can see. I'm going to delete that layer. Just click this. Okay, so this would be a wide shot. And it's a fancier graphic. I think it may even have animation. It does. And then, of course, you can trim. With the rolling credits, you're using something in Essential Graphics, but you are checking roll. So let's go ahead and see if I can do that. Title tool, click. Credits. Videography by Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. Music by YouTube, audio, library. And I gotta find the source of that, so Chef Brian Latasha. Okay, and as you can see, it's going to keep on going. So I'm going to have to enter down. Now, there's a point in here where you can, let's see if I click off, click roll. And that lets it roll. So you can see it's rolling. You can determine how fast or slow by how long your clip is. And you can also tell it where to start and whether to ease in or out, so whether to speed up. Your credits can be over video, so of course I can put video here, but you saw I was trying to get the audio, so I'm going to double click, and now I'm going to drag video only. And you can mess with the settings here and change the color and all that. In fact, you saw I could add a layer, you could add other layers of text, you could actually add an image up here. So let's see if I can even add video. You saw how that said insert after, so it's probably going to come after. But you can mess around, see what you can do with it. So the goal is to get all this, and then I've added music. Sound effects is the same process. Rolling credits, you saw those at the end. And then finally, save your project. Okay, and export media. If you don't have anything extra on the timeline, you could just export the entire sequence. If you have certain points on the timeline you want to export, set the in and out points with I and O, then sequence in and out. Usually sequence in and out will do it just fine. Format should be H.264. Preset should be YouTube 1080. Change the name and where it goes so you can find it. This is going to be Sweet16_C Turner. Save. Export. Then you're going to go into Google.